Hi everyone. In this video, I'll be reading Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir fanfic, which I've titled Miraculous Newscast. This is part 4 of 4, so I hope you enjoy. So, the next day, Mari and Adrian come to school holding hands. Alia is shocked and says, "Is what I think happening actually happening? Are you two dating each other?" Mari says, "Yes, we are." Proudly. Alia says, "Oh, sorry, it's very dry here. One sec, I'm gonna take a water break." Okay, alright. Let's continue. Alia says, "I'm so happy for you guys." The kids are now in the class. The teacher says, "So, Adrian and Mari, are your projects done yet?" They both say yes. "Good. So, does anyone want to go first?" says the teacher. Mari raises her hand. The teacher is shocked. "Wow, that's a first, but go ahead." The kids go to the front of the class to do their project and face their fellow classmates as they do so. Alright, Mari says, "Okay, my breaking news is getting an inside look on what it's like to be a baker's daughter." Teacher responds with, "Interesting. Continue." "Well, it's super cool because I get hands-on experience baking things like macarons and macaroons, croissants, and cakes, and many more. I also have a lot of recipes memorized by heart due to it. But with a family business, sometimes I have to roll up my sleeves and help my parents out with the bakery. But it's still pretty cool." That was very good. The teacher says, "That was very good, Mari. Adrian, you're next." Adrian says, "Well, as you all know, I'm a teenage supermodel. So, my breaking news is similar to Mari's, but I'm giving you an inside look on being a teenage supermodel." "Well, I can't wait to hear it. Continue now," says the teacher. Adrian says, "Okay, so being a teenage supermodel, a teenage supermodel is pretty cool. But with being a model for my dad's clothing line comes press. So at any time of day, I could be chased by press and superfans. But other than that, being a teenage supermodel is pretty cool." The teacher says, "Wow, I had no idea you went through all that. That must be hard." "It is," says Adrian. "You did a great job, Adrian, for not having that much time to work on it. Nino, you're next." Nino says, "Great. So I found out recently that DJ Turtle relaxes after being a DJ all night by doing yoga, and says it really works." So, teacher says, "So who's DJ Turtle?" Nino says, "Oh, actually, he's my oldest cousin." "Wait, really?" says Adrian. "Yes," says Nino. So, Adrian says, "That's so cool." "Yes," says, the teacher says, "Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Good job, Nino. Alia, you're next." Alia says, "Great, so mine's what it's like to have superhero friends." Teacher says, "What superheroes are you talking about?" Alia says, "Ladybug and Cat Noir." Mari and Adrian look at each other worriedly. Mari says, "Can I talk to Alia quickly?" Teacher says, I think you can wait till class is over to talk to her." "But says Mari. "You can and will wait. Alia, go ahead." "Okay, so I'm friends with," reading their worried faces, Alia says, "Okay, so I'm friends with Ladybug and Cat Noir. And it's hard to be friends with secret superheroes because at any minute they could have to leave in order to save the world. And no matter how much you want to stop them, you can't because they have to save the world." Chloe says, "So who are Ladybug and Cat Noir behind the mask?" Alia says, "You see, that's the part of the story I can't reveal at this moment." Chloe says, You don't actually know, do you? Alia, again, reading their worried faces, says, I know who they are, but I respect the fact that they don't want others to know who they are yet. Chloe says, I don't believe you. You have no proof. Mari says, well, Chloe may not believe you, but I do. Adrian says, I also believe Alia. And Nino says, and so do I. Chloe says, why am I the only one who thinks she's lying? Because if she actually knew, she would tell us who they were. Mari says, let me ask you something. Chloe, would you ever tease or make fun of Ladybug? Chloe says, I wouldn't ever do anything like that. Oh, you wouldn't. But you have unknowingly done exactly that. Chloe says, I think I would know if I were talking to Ladybug under the mask. What if I told you by making fun of me, you'd be actually making fun of Ladybug? That makes no sense, Mari Brat. That's right, that was one of her nicknames for Mari at the beginning of the series. I forgot about that one. Mari says, well, let me clear things up for you. Tiki, spots on. All of Mari's classmates gasp. Well, the teacher says, well, that explains a lot. I can't believe I'm teaching the real-life Ladybug in my class. Adrian says, not just Ladybug. Hey, can I? Looking to Mari, or looking to Ladybug now. Ladybug says, yes, but before you do, I need this Before you do, I need to tell you all that this info cannot be shared with anyone else. Does everyone understand? They all say yes, we understand. Okay, Adrian, you can go ahead. Okay, so Mari's not the only one who's secretly a superhero because Plague claws out. All the students and the teacher gasp in shock. So I also teach Cat Noir. Okay, this is so cool and explains a lot. So I teach 2 secret superheroes. That's wild. Since this info is not allowed to be shared, I'm also a secret superhero. I'm Carapace, says Nino. Teacher says, so there are 3 secret superheroes in my class. Ollie says, 4. I'm Rena Rouge. Alex says, 5. I'm Bunnix. Chloe says, 6. I'm Queen Bee. Max says, well, everyone knows that, Chloe. But 7. I'm Pegasus. Luca, I know Luca's not in their class, but let's just pretend he is for this fanfic, okay? Luca says, 8. I'm Viperian. Kagami says, 9. I'm Ryoko. It's been a while. Ryoko, I think is her name. Kim says, 10. I'm King Monkey. Ladybug says, wait, Kim, I never gave you a Miraculous. Kim says, I actually don't know who gave me a Miraculous. It just showed up and I used it. Then you probably got it from Fu. He gave me mine. Same. Fu gave me mine as well, says Cat Noir. Kim says, that's cool, but who's this Fu you're talking about? Oh, he's the current guardian of the Miraculous box. I've always wondered, Ladybug, why do some people get to keep their Miraculous and others only get them temporarily? Ladybug says, that's because if you receive a Miraculous from a guardian, you are a guardian, you get to keep it. But if you were given a Miraculous from a guardian in training, you only get the Miraculous temporarily. Okay, now that makes sense. That's my theory on why Master Fu, when Master Fu gives them Miraculouses, they tend to be able to keep them. And when Ladybug gives them out, then they're not always allowed to keep them at that point in the show when she's getting trained to be the next guardian. That's just my theory. Okay, that makes sense, says Cat Noir. Ladybug says, because I am a guardian in training, if you received a Miraculous from me, you only get them temporarily until I become a full guardian. Everyone's happy. There's no more secrets between them. The end of Miraculous Newscast. So I hope you enjoyed this story. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching. And I'm kind of curious, do you prefer the first draft or the edited draft of this story? Anyway, hope you enjoy. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching.